The reading comprehension section of the AccuPlacer is not timed, so take your time. You can't return to an answer once given, so take your time to look at all of the answers, go back to the reading a number of times if you want, before giving your final answer. The reading comprehension questions in AccuPlacer fall into some basic types. We'll cover a few here, including main idea, purpose questions, detail questions, and questions about how two sentences relate to each other. Let's start with main idea questions. The main idea of a paragraph is the author's central point about the subject. The main idea sums up what the author wants the reader to know about the subject while reading the passage. You may be asked directly for the main idea or for similar terms like the central point or the thesis. Here's an example of this type of question. Hit pause, read the paragraph, and then choose the best answer before proceeding to the explanation. First, decide what most of the sentences in the paragraph are about. In this case, Mardi Gras gets mentioned in almost every sentence, making it the subject or topic of the paragraph. That suggests that the main idea answer would be either B or D, since the other two choices don't mention Mardi Gras. Besides, A is too broad and could be about any parade in the world. We want a main idea that fits just this paragraph. C is too narrow. The paragraph is about more than just jazz music. Between B and D, D is the better answer because it covers all the details about the parades, food, and music. Besides, Mardi Gras is not just for visitors. AccuPlacer also contains detail questions. These are questions that relate to specific pieces of information the author gives that tell you things like where, when, who, or what. These questions often refer to the date, evidence, or specifics in the paragraph. Again, read the paragraph, hit pause, answer it before proceeding to the explanation. When asked a detail question, a good technique is to go back to the paragraph and find the sentence where the detail is given. Read the context, the sentences around the sentence with the detail. In this paragraph, the sentence is, "But doctors have found that these fats raise blood levels of low-density lipoproteins, the bad cholesterol." Even if you have never seen the word lipoprotein before, clearly they are not good for the body, not answer A. And the answer can't be B, because trans fats increase shelf life, not lipoproteins. The answer can't be C, because if something is toxic, it cannot be in food products. Reading the sentence again, you can gather from the context that trans fats raise the level of lipoproteins in the blood, and that it is called a bad cholesterol. This is supported by the paragraph being about trans fats not being safe. Therefore, the best answer would be D. Another type of question you might see on the AccuPlacer concerns the author's purpose or reason for writing a piece. The purpose might be to inform the reader, to persuade the reader, or even just to entertain. Sometimes the purpose is more specific to the paragraph, to persuade the reader to learn some information or to do something. If the author gives a lot of facts, typically they're informing the reader. If you find the author trying to move you to a particular opinion, that would be persuasion. If you laugh or cry, that's entertainment. Try to gather evidence for purpose from the word choice and from your reaction and from the content. How does one infer or make an educated guess about an author's purpose? In this passage, we begin with a quote that suggests, "Students, keep looking." This idea is reinforced with the sentence, "Exploration is important." Answer A can't be correct because the passage doesn't really teach how to find a career choice. C suggests that the author wants students to settle, which is the opposite of what the first quote says. And D doesn't cover what most of the sentences in the paragraph are about. Therefore, the correct answer is B. The author of this paragraph, through the quote and examples, does try to persuade the reader that choosing a career takes time. Finally, some questions ask the student to understand how two sentences relate to one another. There's often a logical relationship between two sentences, whether one is a specific example of another idea, or whether it contradicts the first, or explains it more fully. Take your time to examine the logic. The first statement talks about most male animals having multiple mates, while the second one refers to a case, wolves, that keep the same partner. Because those statements are different, the best answer is C. The second statement is a contrasting idea. Both sentences are about global warming. The first sentence defines it. The second expands on the first, giving us added information about a cause, which would be answer A. The answer can't be B, because the second sentence is not an effect of the first. That is, the first doesn't cause the second sentence. C is clearly not correct, because the second sentence does not deny the first. Some readers might be tempted by answer D, because it feels saying global warming is partly caused by humans is an explanation of what global warming is. But a true explanation of global warming would explain the science for why global greenhouse gases trap heat in the Earth's atmosphere.